All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Buckle up. Get ready for takeoff. Today, we're flying to the territory of the United States economy. Yes, that's our destination today, the economy. So, KY3 posted a story about the U.S. economy, and it's got 225 comments. Not too bad, but it's something I think a lot of people are concerned about. And I think that's the reason that the No Kings thing was a huge success in Springfield, Missouri. We're going to talk about this article. We're also going to talk about No Kings Day because the two are connected. So, why was No Kings Day so successful in Springfield, Missouri? Number one, the weather was beautiful. 75 to 80. It's not totally screaming hot. We've been having a lot of rain. It's kind of raining a little bit today again. But that day, the sun was out and people are tired of being cooped up. They said, let's go out and join the protest. Let's do something fun. Let's go protest the economy. Because that's what they were protesting. The majority of people weren't there to protest ICE. They were there because they're tired of being cooped up on the weekends because it's been raining and raining and raining. Here it is, a beautiful sunny day. Let's go out and do something. And they've been kind of advertising this on social media. I think people are tired of Donald Trump for many reasons. It doesn't matter who the president could have been. Could have been anybody. Because he gets the blame for everything. People are tired of high grocery prices. Tired of the insurance going up. Property taxes going up. Taxes going up in general. Utility bills are going up. And their paychecks aren't keeping up. And the people are feeling frustrated. And that's the majority of the people that went to this No Kings. It's just something to do. That's why the Pride Festival was also a huge success in Springfield. The weather was perfect. People were tired of being cooped up on the weekends, tired of all this rain. That's all we've been having. So they got out and they had a good time. Oh my God, the numbers are up. Of course they're up. It was a beautiful day outside. People want to get out and do something. Anything. And No King's Day, let's go protest Trump because of the economy. That's the majority of it. Had nothing to do with immigration or ICE. The majority of the people were there because they're frustrated. Which is what this article is about. The economy. How do people feel about the economy? Anytime you ask people that, you could have asked them that in 1982, 1983, 1975, you get the same answer, no matter what year or month. You could ask this at any time. It's all perception, in my opinion. Because they always say the economy's bad. They've been preaching this since I was a kid. That's how Ronald Reagan got elected. Oh my God, the national debt reached $1 trillion and got a peanut farmer running the country. I remember that. And Reagan got elected on that very basis, on the economy. And the moment he got in office, the 52 hostages in Iran for 444 days got released. I never forgot that. That happened in, he took office in 1981. So I was 13 years old. Yes, I was 13 years old. I was in junior high, middle school. We called it junior high back then. But I remember that. I never forgot that. So they always preach the sky is falling. Chicken Little is always preaching this. The sky is falling. The economy is bad. If you go on YouTube and there's YouTube video after YouTube video. Americans are struggling. They're living paycheck to paycheck. People living out of the storage units, living in their cars. Okay, we've always had that. We've always had poor people. People have been living out of the storage units. That's not a new thing. That's been going on for years. People living out of the car, that's been going on for years. That's not new. People are paying for groceries on their credit card. Oh, that's been going on for years too. I think that started way back in the early 2000s. They used to run ads. This guy would be buying kumquats at the grocery store. I remember that. And putting it on his credit card. So that's not new. People are putting their Big Macs on credit cards. That's not new. McDonald's has been taking credit cards now for a while. So that's not new. This thing you hear about buy now, pay later. That's not new. We had layaway programs when I was a kid. That's not a new concept. But let's talk about the economy. Like I said, we had No King's Day. I had to work that day. But if I had the day off, I would have been there. I don't know if I would have made me a sign. I would have been filming and talking to people. Yeah, I would have made a YouTube video out of it, for sure. I would have had a great time. I would have joined them. I would have tired of high grocery prices, tired of high property taxes. Yeah, I would have joined them. I'm not the Orange Man's biggest fan. Because he's done a few things. Him and Gavin Newsom are in bed together. I mean, not, you know what I'm saying. They're on the same team when it comes to artificial intelligence. They both put their name on a bill, and they're on the same page when it comes to AI, not regulating it. So yeah. And I just saw John Stossel do a story. Trump isn't always the good guy. He tore up he took some lady's house. It's on John Stossel. Look it up. John Stossel's latest video about a pink house. How some lady lost her home to Donald Trump. She fought and he kicked her out of her house. So no, he's not the total good guy you think he is. None of the presidents are. They're all corrupt. George Carlin is right. Every time they move their lips, they lie. No new taxes. Bullshit. Anyway, this is a story by KY3. And it says that more than half of Americans asked in a recent survey say the U.S. economy is on the wrong track. They always say this. That's my commentary. Over 60% believe tariffs will worsen their finances, with 41% believing they will greatly damage the economy. Yeah, the tariffs could damage the economy, but there's a reason for the tariffs. I just watched a documentary on another country that's thinking about doing the same thing because they want to be. There's a reason countries have to do it. Because China is playing hardball and Germany is saying, no, enough is enough. And I think it's semiconductors. They're saying we're tired of being dependent on someone else. Should we be concerned that a country who started 2 world wars is deciding to rebuild their military complex? They want to be number 1 in semiconductors, ahead of Taiwan, if they can pull that off. They want to be self-reliant again. Should that concern us? Should we be concerned? Just throwing that out there. If they want to jump in the AI game and semiconductors, oh my God. Germans are known for being really smart. So smart that in World War II we had Operation Paperclip to bring their scientists over here so we can win the war. Does that tell you something? Oppenheimer, Albert Einstein. Now here the Germans are saying, here they go again. Should we be concerned if they jump in the game? As smart as they are, historically anyways, how long before they catch up on the race war? I mean, not a race war, but a cold war with artificial intelligence. Anyway, back to the economy. Okay, 65% of Americans think tariffs would be bad for their personal finances, and they're probably correct. Because it means higher prices at the grocery store. Because everything's made in China. But see, the thing is China wants to import more. It's like, how can I explain this? What I think Donald Trump is trying to do, what Germany is wanting to do now. And they're more liberal than we are. But should we be concerned when they decide they want to be self-reliant, make their own semiconductors, produce their own fuel, their own electric power, totally self-reliant? They want to be number one ahead of Taiwan in semiconductors, and they're gonna do it too. Trust me, they are smart. If they enter the AI race, they're smart. They're very smart. Because whoever wins that race will rule the world. Now back on the economy. I'm sorry I get off on a tangent. I can't help but be concerned when somebody who caused 2 world wars is saying again, to me it's like a signal, a red flag going, we need to think about this. Those people, they're not stupid. They're smart. But what are people saying about the economy? Let's go to the comment section. All comments. This person says, it's a complicated economic situation with a lot of data inputs. However, the starts, stops, and constant changes have definitely damaged the U.S. economy due to uncertainty and supply chain shocks. What's going on here is China controls everything. So they want to import everything over to us, but they won't accept our exports. That's like, let me put it in a way you can explain. Let's say that it's an 80-20 thing. So they're only importing 20% from the United States. But they expect us to accept 100% of their imports. I'm trying to explain it in a way that everybody can understand what's going on. So they are importing a lot to us, but they only accept this much of our exports. But they import all this to us. But we only export so much to them. Understand? I'm trying to explain it in a way everybody can understand why I think Trump wants these tariffs and where he's coming from. I'm not his biggest fan, but when other countries are starting to want to do the same thing, makes you wonder. They're not stupid. I think people are like saying, hey, China's number one. They're going to take over the world. Other countries are starting to worry about that. Should we be worried that China is going to try to take Taiwan? Manufacture, build, buy American. It's not so simple. We have all these minimum wage laws. We have all these regulations. Companies can't afford to. You can't afford to buy American. You can't. We've regulated ourselves out of business. Priced ourselves out of business. the idea of exporting, importing, global trade is a big thing. Now some countries are saying we need to be self-reliant. We don't want to rely on other countries anymore. We need to manufacture our own stuff. Like I said, I just saw a documentary on Germany. There's this little boy who needed this medicine, and you could only get it in China. And their government's going, we gotta stop this. Stop depending on foreign countries for everything. They want to be self-reliant like China. That they want to copycat China. So America needs to wake up. Because Russia is also self-reliant in some ways. So obviously listening to mainstream media. How about just wait and see and be grateful we don't have a comatose president in office? He's kind of crazy. Like I said, I'm not the orange man's biggest supporter. I'm sorry. He's just not the good guy you think he is. No, he's not. Because that's all the television tells them. This guy says 65% of Americans are wrong because they've had little impact on consumer prices or consumer demand. He's not right about that. How are 65% of Americans wrong? Because they've had little impact? No. You do impact prices, supply and demand. Always. Breaking news. Walmart to raise prices due to tariff costs. Well, that's just a thing. And yet, there was no evidence of any impact on prices. Yeah, when you raise tariffs, you're going to pass that on to the consumer. If Walmart has to pay more for their goods that are coming in from China, they got to pay more for that. They're going to pass that on to you, the consumer. That's just a natural thing. As far as people living paycheck to paycheck, that's always been a thing. I've said that before. You can say that no matter who's in office in any year. We're always in a recession. Always. Always. Some Americans are prospering. I'm not doing too bad. I'm not rich, but I'm not living out of my car. Short term, yes. Long term would be advantageous. Yet inflation wasn't. I buy made in USA, so I really haven't noticed tariffs because made in USA doesn't have any here. Well, if you buy made in the USA, you're paying more for your products. Because the problem with made in the USA, it may not be 100% made in the USA. The ingredients and the parts to make that product were made in other countries. You know, like, it's just the way it is. 60% apparently understands how tariff works. 100% of people should understand what a tariff is. I'd say about 60% actually understand. Yeah. We started a war over a 2% tax. Remember that? This person says, most citizens probably have no clue how tariffs actually affect their lives other than what the mainstream media tells them. That's true. Or what they hear on TikTok. Oh, I saw it on TikTok. No, that doesn't make it true. People lie all the time on YouTube, TikTok. So social media is full of AI slop and a bunch of lies. People will say anything to get you to click. That's all they care about. You click on their video. They don't think. They know Trump's tariffs are bad for everyone's finances. Yeah. This person says, made in America, USA, USA. The problem with that is I'm all for made in America, but it's not 100% made in America. The ingredients to make that product, like you can, if you was to make these in America, the parts are made in other countries. Even if they're assembled here, which they are not. The parts that go into the making of this phone are made all over the world. Your chips come from Taiwan. China wants to take Taiwan. That's a whole nother topic. We're going to get drawn into that war because we depend on them for our chips. It's possible KY3 got the information from one of the many false information polls. No, I believe many people just generally feel this way. They're living paycheck to paycheck, and the groceries have been going up, taxes have been going up, and people are feeling frustrated. No, this is not false information. That's why people have to be protected from themselves at times. Yeah. I see people waste money on crap every day and wonder why they're broke. Stop voting for old ass men. I agree. Trump is an old fuck. It's all Obama and Biden's fault. It is, but it's also Trump's fault too. Doesn't matter who the politician is. They're all on the same page. It's a WWE event. Don't you people know that? You're being played. Fake news, stick to the weather. They can't get the weather right either. It's supposed to be sunny, it's raining. And they got all this equipment. This person says, so it's okay when other countries put 30% tariffs on U.S. exports. This is what we're talking about. Germany says they want to replace China. They're tired of... So they're considering doing what Trump is doing, putting tariffs on Chinese goods to protect their industries. Yeah. Again, should we be concerned if Germany enters the game of semiconductors and self-reliance? That's not a bad thing. But when a nation does it, makes you wonder if they're prepping for war. They will say, we want to be number one in exports. They want to copy what China's doing. They want to copy what Taiwan is doing. They want to save their own industries. We're talking about a country that has been known to be very smart. We're not talking Britain or France or Sweden or Switzerland. No, the Germans have been very, very smart. I mean, if you're German, no offense to you, but I'm just saying historically, when a country starts talking that way, they're prepping for war. I understand they want to be self-reliant. I get it. And I saw the story of that little boy who couldn't get his medicine. Yeah, we need to have an amount of self-reliance. Every country in the world wants to be number one in exports. Not just Germany. Britain wants that too. France wants that too. I think everybody's tired of China being number one. Now everybody wants to be number one. It's not just Germany. Britain wants to be number one. Brazil wants to be number one. Everybody wants the top spot right now. This is a joke. This guy says, Forbes just recently said inflation is at a 4-year lows and prices have rose less than expected. KY3 News is delusional as always. No, KY3 is not being delusional. Forbes is being delusional. KY3 said 60% of Americans feel the economy is going the wrong direction. That's not being delusional. But Forbes is definitely being delusional. Inflation at a 4-year low. What are they? Have they been to the grocery store lately? So we're going to have to go ahead and end this video. It's been 25 minutes, and comment below. Where do you think the economy is going? Just saying. Like I said, they've been saying this since I was a kid. They said this when Jimmy Carter was in office. They said this when Ronald Reagan was in office. They always say recession, recession, recession. After a while, you stop believing it. It's only as good or as bad as you believe it to be. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're struggling, you got to look at your personal finances. Where can you cut? Everybody's got fat somewhere. Everybody. Myself included, because I had to look at my finances. Where can I cut? I waste money just like everybody else. I'm no better than you. But it's hard to say of Warsaw Groton. We're going to have to let everybody go. Otherwise, I'm going to ramble on. There's so many comments and so many things I could say about the economy. And like I said, that's the biggest reason that the No King Day was so successful here in the Ozarks. The weather was just so perfect. And we're so cooped up from all the rain. I would have joined them, but I had to work. And so it's not that they're protesting, because majority of people that were out there that day, most of them were there because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So they were just protesting anything dealing with Trump. It's the economy in general. That's the biggest majority of the turnout that day, is the economy, the economy, the economy. It wasn't protesting ICE at all. Only a small fraction were protesting ICE. The majority were just sick and tired of high prices. So yeah, no King's Day. But let me put it in another perspective. If Trump were really a king or a dictator, you think you would have had the right to go out and protest? Nope. The fact that you were out there protesting without going to jail, Trump's not a king. He's not a dictator. The paradox of it all. Just thought I should throw that out there. There's a paradox of, well, how is he being a king? The fact that you're out there protesting says he's not a king. Because if he was, you wouldn't be out there. Nope. You sure wouldn't. Yeah. So, just saying. And I don't care for the guy. I know a lot of MAGA people would be mad at me. The red hat people. Jeremiah, how can you not support Trump? Well, I support George Carlin, the comedian. It's a private club, and you and I are not in that club. I'm sorry. I've listened to politicians all my life. I've heard it all in my 58 years. I voted for Obama. I voted for Bush Jr. I voted for Clinton, not his wife, Bill Clinton. Yeah, Bill. He's a good guy, isn't he? He wasn't perfect either. Did you have sex with your secretary? No, I didn't. Yes, he did. He lied. I mean, all politicians lie. But, yeah, the only one I didn't like was Bush Sr. That old geezer. I just didn't like him. I was like, he was just he was boring. I wouldn't vote for him. I didn't. No. I thought he was a boring old man. I'll vote for the other guy, but not him. Who was running against him? Because that's who I voted for. I don't remember. I just thought he was boring. I liked Reagan. I couldn't vote for Reagan in either one because I was only 17 when he ran in '84. So I was unable to vote for Ronald Reagan. But I didn't want George Bush Sr. No. Oh my God, no. No, no, and no. But we're going to have to cut this video short. Otherwise, I'll go on and on. I'll ramble on, and you don't want to hear me ramble. And I'm just going over the comments on people believing the economy is bad. So I need to make another video. I'm going to do a video series on the things people do to waste their money and how you can save your money as best you can. Getting out of debt, being debt-free, oh God. I don't have debt, no student loan debt. I don't have anything. I got money in the bank. I'm debt-free. I am at the point where I can go to the grocery store and not worry about the prices too bad. I mean, I still look at them in a way. Like I saw the Krispy Kreme donuts, $10 for 6 donuts, $10. I said, $10 for only 6 donuts? Screw that. So I do care on some level about the prices at the grocery store because I don't want to overspend either. $10 for 6 donuts, but that's Krispy Kreme. You're not getting the grocery store donuts. You're getting Krispy Kreme. Casey's has a good donut. I love Casey's donuts. Casey's General Store, their Bavarian cream donuts, worth it. It's worth it. They're like $1.50 a donut, I think. But they're full of Bavarian cream, and I love it. I can get fat eating Casey's General Store donuts. But anyway, that's enough of this video. Otherwise, I'm a rambler. Everybody out there knows that. Jeremiah, there you go again. Rambling and rambling. Some people love to hear me ramble. There's something natural about it. That way you know I'm not AI driven. At least Jeremiah's real. He's rambling again. An AI program would never do that. It's true. It'd be short, simple, to the point. But not me. I enjoy this conversation I'm having with you. And I just wanted to make this video because today is my day off and starting to stutter a lot. So I don't know if you've noticed I twitch a lot. But I want to thank you for coming on board. I apologize for the twitching. I don't know what causes that. It could be epilepsy. I hope not. But I want to thank everybody for coming on board. Thank you for joining me and putting up with me, putting up with my rambling. I should speak louder, but this is a pretty good microphone. This is being shot with an iPad. And so it's hard to say au revoir. So au gratin. So we're getting ready to film our third video. I may actually take my jacket off for it because it's warm in here. And it's my day off, so I got to start video number 3. And probably take my laptop into my other studio so I can record a podcast in there because it's got an air conditioning. It's got air conditioning. So I love creating content. I would continue to make videos even if only one person was watching. I would. But today's we're making video after video, and I get my content from KY3. That's a local TV station here. So I go there and I scroll, look at all the comments. And so there's 1,000 comments. That's a hot topic. You know, let's make a video about it. And I just want to talk about the economy. I know a lot of people feel that Americans are struggling, living pay, and like I said, we say that every year. You know, so I'm gonna make a video series. I promise we're gonna make it. I might shoot the first episode today if I'm still up to it. But it's hard to say au revoir, so au gratin. I really have to say au gratin this time. Because we're 35 minutes. Oh my God. The other video was almost 60 minutes. I lose track of time. Man, I gotta get these videos under 15 minutes. I just have fun reading the comments. I have fun spending time with you. And if you're new to this channel, I welcome you. I forget to say that too, because I go right into the topic and just get sucked into my own content. And I forget to say thank you for watching. Thank you for coming on board. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, share. You know the routine. And so we're getting ready to make our third video. I may take my jacket off because I'm getting hot. And it's hard to say au revoir, so au gratin. I'm getting ready to push the button. Yes. Yes. That's my finger. That's what it means. I'm going to push that button right now. Here I go. It's only you. Get back for me, babe. It's only you. Don't need a damn way. It's only you. Don't need a damn. It's only you. It's really good, I promise you.